and we're live. Hi, guys. Welcome to our podcast. This is the first episode of Love and Confetti. My name is Danielle, but you can call me Dani.
And I'm Arion. And you can call me Ari.
So yeah, we decided to make this podcast kind of like an LDR project because we are in a long distance relationship, and I think we've been doing LDR for about a year. I think
I
a
think,
year in total.
yeah, or maybe more than a year now.
Like the last time we
Yeah.
saw each other was around
End of November.
November
Yeah.
last year. So yeah, and we do daily calls and we kind of just decided to make the calls productive, and so voila, here is our podcast.
Okay. Well, so today we're going to be talking about ourselves and kind of how we started,
Mm-hmm.
how we met. So
Yeah.
for those who don't know our story, here goes everything, right?
Okay, so let's take it way back to October 2018.
Okay, so October 2018, I was in kind of a rough place. I had just gotten off a breakup and, I was kind of sad. I was kind of lonely. So I thought, hey, why don't I try using Tinder? So I went on Tinder and I happened to match with this beautiful girl.
And not only that, he also matched with my cousin.
Okay,
Ooh,
so that's
juicy
that's
cuento.
okay, so that's more details we're gonna share later. For Danny's case, I think you just got off law school.
Yeah,
You
so I was in my second year of law school, and then I failed and I quote unquote got kicked out, and instead of continuing, the law path, I decided to kind of soul search and figure out what I really wanted in life, because I figured that, law school, it wasn't for me. So, on a whim, very impulsively, my cousin, who was already doing a program in Spain, I decided to join her. And so we were together for 8 months in Spain. And in this program, I spent my days teaching kids English. Yeah. So I figured that I needed kind of like a break from the normal Philippine life. And so, yeah, I went on a Euro trip and I found love.
Yeah, so she went on Tinder.
I actually wasn't gonna go on Tinder. Athena, my cousin, made me download Tinder because she was like, you know what, you're only here once, might as well have fun. And then in my head, I was thinking, nah, might as well, if I'm here for 8 months, kind of like experiment and meet people. And in my head, Spain was like my training ground for like dating. So whoever I would end up with, I'd probably like break up with them because, I figured that I was going to match with a foreigner. And then so by the time I came back, I'd be like, oh, very experienced. So it was
That
kind
didn't
of
go
like,
according to plan.
yeah,
Yeah, little did she know that I used to live in the Philippines for a very long time.
yeah,
And she ended up matching with
yeah.
kind of a
Small world.
Filipino boy. And I used to live in Cebu. So where Dani currently is, her hometown, I used to live there for 7 years. So I know many of her friends. I know many of the people there. So she was very shocked to match with someone from Cebu.
Yeah,
Like
I
she's trying
went
to
to
get away from
Spain.
Cebu. Yeah.
I went to Spain just to match with a Filipino boy.
Yeah. So anyway, so what happened? We matched and I found her very beautiful because she was very different from the typical Spanish girl. I guess once you're in an environment for a while, you get used to everyone. Nothing becomes unique. And then here comes this unique girl and I'm just like, whoa. So I matched with her and I also swiped right on her cousin because she said she was from the Philippines. So I thought, okay, well, that might be cool. Dani did not mention on her Tinder profile that she was from the Philippines. So I didn't know where she was from. I guessed she was from the Philippines, but as far as I knew, I just thought she was, different and unique. The story got interesting because I started talking to them both at around the same time.
You talked to Athena first.
I talked to Athena first. I
Yeah.
remember my opening line was I think it was like, hey, this must mean I'm your boyfriend now.
No, you said, guess you're my girlfriend now. Or like, does this mean you're my girlfriend now? Athena was super flirty. She was like, close. We're basically married.
Yeah. It was very fun and playful. And
yeah.
I hope you didn't get bothered by that.
No, it wasn't. I found it funny.
Anyway, and then with Dani, I think I kind of just went straight to the point. You told me you were from the Philippines, or was it on your profile?
No, like your first line was "Kumusta ka?" And that's
Yeah,
why
I know.
I chatted with you.
Yeah, I
like
know.
I was like, oh, he's Filipino.
Or I know my shit. Anyway, yeah, and then it was really funny because they were telling me they're like, oh yeah, we're from the Philippines. We live in Algeciras. And then I'm like, how many Filipinos are there in Algeciras? is that a Filipino like town? Like, do many Filipinos go there? And then later on in the conversation, they're like, yeah, I'm here with my cousin. And then I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, but the thing is, neither of us knew that we matched with you, right?
See, both of you, yeah, both of
Yeah, we
you
were
were
both just
unaware.
chatting with you because we were both at work. And then Athena sends me this guy a screenshot of, your profile. And she says like, oh, look, I matched with someone named Ariana. I was like, oh, okay, cool. On her screenshot, it was like a different profile photo from mine. So I didn't know that you were the same
Oh,
person.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I said like, oh, I think I matched with someone with the same name. And she was like, dude, it's the same person. I was like, what? And then she goes, into stalker mode, and then she tells me like, this guy's from Cebu. I was like, dibs.
Yeah, she called dibs very early.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then it was really funny because like the whole reveal moment was so surprising because I was like, "Is your cousin Danny?" When talking to Athena, right? And she's like, "Oh my God, yes, you matched with her too." I'm like, "Yeah." After
You know,
matching,
what's funny? Your conversation with Athena was so long, and it was
yeah,
like you were asking each other like deep questions and stuff. And with
we were.
me, yeah,
I
you
can't
were,
recall.
you were. I read it.
Oh,
And with me, like our convo was so short. It was kind of like, oh, what do you do? Why are you here? And then after a while, I think one of us said like, you wanna transfer on like WhatsApp or Messenger?
yeah. So we spoke for about a month on
I
WhatsApp
think so, yeah.
before we met, and that was fun. We asked each other so many interesting questions. I think 20 questions or something.
Okay, I initiated 20 questions as we were, getting to know each other. Partly because I just didn't want like any awkward, those awkward situations where you don't know what to say anymore.
The thing
Yeah,
is, there was awkward silence because it took her forever to reply to my
yeah, okay,
messages.
that was funny, because we just moved in, so we didn't have internet. And every time I needed to talk to him, it would either be while I was at work, which was only like 4 hours a day, or I had to go to this like nearby building and I just like leech off their Wi-Fi. And that was the only time I could ever reply to him. I think it would take me, like, for example, if he was like the last person to chat, I would reply maybe like, the next day.
Anyway, so that was good. That was fun. We had good conversations, and then we decided to meet in where I was staying, a town called Estepona. It's very beautiful.
It's, I think, 30 minutes away.
Yeah, actually, she was supposed to meet her friends, but she used it like as a double purpose.
No,
So she was
okay.
like,
The
"Hey."
reason the reason why I wanted to meet you initially was because I was trying to like grow my YouTube channel and I wanted you for a video. And that's
She
why I was
wanted
like, hey,
content.
yeah, for the hashtag content. So I was like, hey, you wanna meet? Because I'm gonna film this video. Do you mind if you star in it? So our first meeting was actually supposed to be like a filming session. Remember?
But it didn't end up being
It
a
didn't
filming
end up,
session.
yeah, because we
Yeah.
lost the light already.
Yeah. Anyway, what happened was she was with a group of friends or like
Okay,
auxiliaries,
so
right?
we're called auxiliaries. That's us in the program. I don't know, coincidentally, a lot of them were staying in Estepona. And then they were like, hey, we're gonna meet this Saturday. And then so Athena was like, okay, count us in. So everyone went, and then I was supposed to meet you, but then you were late.
Yeah, I
So
was late
I
because
was hanging out with, I don't know, I think we were like maybe 7 people. And
okay.
Athena was the only person in contact with you because I didn't have a SIM card. So like
Mhm.
anytime I wanted to like hear from you, I'd tell Athena like, hey Athena, can you like ask him now like where he is?
Okay, reason why I was late was because I had family coming over from overseas. So I kind of had to like prep the house, make sure everything was right for them. And then I had to go to my date. So, well, it wasn't really a date. It was like a meeting with
Yeah.
friends and stuff, right? So I arrived fashionably late, but I, kind of like prepped up. I wore blazer and everything, even if it was really hot. But, I really wanted to look like good for her. And I think you guys were sitting outside an ice cream parlor. You had
Yeah.
already finished your ice cream and everything, waiting for me. I felt so bad. And then I arrive and I start, we start talking, we start chatting. We
And then you
actually didn't talk in the beginning.
No, we didn't. I was so scared actually, like before meeting you, because everyone was kind of like, "Oh, you're meeting him from Tinder, like be careful." And then, like, I had no idea where you would be coming from, and I was kind of like hoping that you'd come from like in front of me so I could like assess. But then, lo and behold, he came from like behind. So I'm just talking with my friends or like listening in on the conversation, and then suddenly I hear my name, and then I turn around, it's him. I was kind of like very caught off guard.
She was very beautiful on the first date.
Oh, thank you.
So we ended up leaving the ice cream place. We started walking
Oh no, no,
towards.
no! While we were in the ice cream place, the funny thing is we never talked.
Yeah.
He was
Okay. So we
talking
never
to
talked.
everyone in
Yeah.
the group. I think maybe a group of like 5, 6, 7 people. And I was kind of just, quiet in the corner.
In my defense, they were all kind of grilling me and asking me
Yeah,
tons of questions. So like
they
I
were
was just like, okay, is this gonna happen?
like
Okay.
you literally sat on the other end, but facing me. I was kind of like just trying to gauge you. But I was
Mhm.
observing like how you would like talk and stuff because that was also the first time that I've ever heard you speak.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, he speaks good English.
Yeah. And then what happened? So okay, after the whole conversation and them getting to know me more than Danny getting to know me, we ended up walking and we were going towards your friend's
Apartment.
one of the guys, apartment.
Yeah.
But before that, we were supposed to get some food for the
Oh, because instead of eating out for dinner, we were just gonna
Yeah.
cook in our friend's house.
the thing is nobody knew how to cook.
Yeah, I was kind of in charge of the food, and if it were up to me, I would have just bought frozen pizza and I would just bake it.
Yeah, when they told me that, I was like, not this is not happening. So we went to the supermarket and like I kind of like took command. I'm like, okay, Athena, come with me, blah blah blah. And then we just like went everywhere and just got everything we needed. And we were gonna make like a rosemary grilled chicken. And I think Danny was like kind of just watching me. Like, whoa,
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
I was kind of like a puppy. I was just following you around, like, oh.
Yeah.
Then I didn't know how to cook at all.
Yeah, I think
zero cooking experience.
she
Kind of like,
got most of her cooking skills from me. Anyways, we went to the apartment and everyone kind of just chilled. And I remember Athena was in charge of rice.
yeah.
Like such a simple thing, rice. I'm like, okay, Athena, make sure you make the rice good. Like, yeah, I know how to make the rice. And then so like while the rice is cooking, everyone else is just having drinks and sitting down. I'm preparing the chicken, cutting
I was
slicing
helping.
it. Yeah, Danny was my assistant.
Yeah.
She was the only one standing next to me the whole time. And
So we had
took
like
that
a
time to
little
actually talk.
intimate moment
Yeah.
while preparing the food.
Yeah.
Those are like our first like legit conversation with each other, right?
Yeah, kind of. No, I think we spoke like along the way, but we were
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
more
but
relaxed
we were
now.
kind of like walking.
Yeah. I remember I told you to do things for me like, okay, wash that. Okay,
Yeah,
pass me the knife.
yeah.
And then I was so annoyed because her friend didn't even have salt. He didn't even
All
have
right,
salt.
yeah. He
Of all
had like the
things-
worst tasting salt. It was kind of bitter.
Yeah, it was
I'm not
like
sure what that
this-
was.
It was more like a MSG than salt. Anyway, so I had to make do with the poor material, so the dinner didn't come out as good as I hoped
So it was
it would.
okay.
But it was okay. It was decent. And then we ended up eating and having Athena's fantastic rice. Do you want to talk about the rice?
No, I think you want to talk about the rice.
Oh
I was
God.
okay with the rice.
So her cousin Athena, Mrs. Master at making rice, ended up making super soggy
Not
rice.
super.
It was like congee, babe. It was like congee. Okay, so it didn't come out good. We had to make do with that. She was very upset. She was like, "Oh, because it's not a rice cooker." Blah blah blah. Okay, so we finished dinner, and I had to go home because I still had to prepare for my guests coming the next day. So Danny brought me down. She escorted me outside.
Yeah, but before that, we had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, woo. And did we kiss on the first date?
Did we?
Did we? We sure did. Yeah, and then after that I went home, and yeah, that was a wrap. So that was our first date. It was really fun. I think it was very different than your typical first date. I mean, who cooks on the first date?
Yeah, and you weren't even cooking for me. You were cooking for like a bunch of people you just met.
Yeah,
A bunch
that
of
was
people
so
I just
annoying.
met actually.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was actually annoying, but
Why?
it's okay. No, annoying in the sense that nobody knew how to cook.
Oh,
But then I enjoyed the fact that I could kind of show off my skills. So
yeah.
I used that as a
Yeah, I was taking mental notes of
Yeah.
like, oh, guy who
it
can
was
cook.
like opportunity.
And ever since then, the rest is history.
So
I
what else are
don't
we
think
gonna
we've
talk?
like ever since we first started talking, we've never missed a day where we haven't talked.
Yeah, unless we had a fight, and then she
No, even
didn't
then.
want to talk. That's true. We never missed a day of talking.
Yeah, yeah, and then
You're very demanding. You're very
I'm
demanding.
not.
kasi.
I'm not. You're the one who's demanding. We're both equally clingy.
Well, that's true. I won't deny that. So What are some problems we faced early on in
No,
the
wait, no.
relationship?
So, as I said, the program was only 8 months, and I was kind of thinking like, oh, okay, so we're probably gonna break up when the program is over, or we're gonna have to do LDR. And we talked about it, and you wanna say it?
Yeah, I was kind of adamant not to do LDR because of my past like experiences with LDR, and I kind of just suggested, hey, let's just make the most of our time, and then once it's done, right? And
Which
obviously
we
that
cried
didn't
about,
happen.
which we cried
Obviously, it
about a
never
lot.
happened. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but the thing is, we held on to that we were gonna break up at the end of the 8 months until I think 2 weeks before I left. So the
Yeah,
whole time, the entire time we were together, we were under the assumption that, oh, we're just gonna end this.
yeah. But I'm glad we didn't. I'm very glad we didn't.
What made you change
And
your mind?
I love you. It's
No,
just
I
because
was,
I love you,
because
babe.
I was very prepared to break up. I mean, not prepared, but kind of like
You
mentally
mentalized
prepared.
for it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mentalized for it that we were gonna break up. So I'd cry every now and then, and I think Athena made me like a breakup playlist already, like to listen to it in the plane. And yeah, and then oh, so my work was only Monday to Thursday, so I'd stay over Arion's house the whole weekend, and then that's how our relationship was for I think the entire time I was in Spain. So
Yeah,
we'd
she'd
see
come
each other
over
every
every
weekend. we were
weekend.
we were kind of LDR already, even when we were like in the same country.
Yeah, although it wasn't that far because we were
Yeah, it
just
wasn't that
40
bad.
minutes. The difference between LDR in the same country and LDR like away
Is
is
the
that you
time
always have that
difference.
option. No, not just time
Oh,
difference. You always have that option. You have anytime, any moment you're like, hey, I want to see my boyfriend. I want to see my girlfriend. Like, okay. So
that's
you just
true.
take off and go,
That's
go on
true.
a 1 hour trip and then you're there. But in this case, we are, I think, I don't know how many hour flight difference.
I think
Probably 18.
16.
Yeah, 16 to
My
18
flight
hours, something
there
like that.
one time was 48 hours of
Yeah,
grueling
okay.
wait.
Yeah, exactly. So you see, we don't have that option now, and it's not that simple now. So we actually have to plan it and, schedule. And if we do happen to see each other over the distance, we're going to have to like time it in such a way that we stay for a while. So we
Yeah.
make the most of our time together. Other problems we faced early on in the relationship. In my case, I was very direct with you.
Ah, right. Yeah.
I was very, very direct. And
Yeah,
I, I,
he
I
was
don't
kind of
think,
like, "Hey, I like you." And
yeah.
I think he said I love you very early on. I was kind of like, "Oh my god, like what is happening?" And he told me that he just got out of a relationship. I was kind of thinking that I would be like a rebound, that
Fair.
he just wanted to, I don't know,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I've always been a very direct person in like my approach with everyone. It's always been the way I've been because I don't see the point in just beating around the bush or sending hints. Like, what's the point of hints? Why can't you just say it, right? Because sometimes people don't get the hint. So I don't think she was used to that because
I'm very
most of you,
Filipino. Yeah.
yeah,
We're
and then
very
most of your guys,
conservative.
yeah, most of your guys weren't very direct with you. They were kind of just
Yeah.
hinting things,
Yeah.
teasing. I'm not that type
I
of
think
guy.
it's
I'm always like,
I don't know if it's a Filipino thing or if it's an Asian thing,
yeah,
but Westerners are very direct.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I was raised in the Philippines, but I've
Yeah, that's
always made it
true.
a point to be direct is the best way to approach something. Because you know what? What do you have to lose? You have more to lose by hinting things because you're just waiting. Time is money, right? So
Yeah.
just get straight to the point. I like you. I want to date you. Let's go out.
So many
And
people I want to at right now. At all
so
my friends.
that worked out for the best for us. But in the beginning, she was very shocked and I guess very just not used to it. And as a result, she wasn't very expressive in the beginning. She was kind of like,
So I'd always feel like things were going too fast. And I always tell
yeah,
him to like slow down. Let's slow
yeah.
down.
Well, now she's like the most expressive person you'll ever know. Like she's an open book with me, and she won't shut up. She just keeps talking and talking and talking, and but I love it. And this is exactly what I wanted from the beginning. Just this openness, this bond that we already share. So I'm just very happy that we have this now.
Oh, and for
But
any of you listening on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, we actually have a video component on YouTube and Facebook. So you can find us
okay,
on our Facebook page, Love and Confetti Podcast, or our YouTube channel, Love and Confetti, or Love and Confetti Podcast. We haven't claimed our URL yet.
Yeah, and yeah, please don't forget to like click the like or notification button and subscribe to us, please. This is the first time for us, but I'm sure that we have a lot of fun, interesting stories we can share with you. We will do our best. Anyway, so to wrap things up, how are we currently? What's happening currently? I would say that currently it kind of sucks because we haven't seen each other in over a year now.
No, we
Not
haven't
not
seen
over a
each other
year,
in
since
maybe
November. Yeah,
9, 10 months,
time
something
10
like that.
months, almost a year, and we miss each other greatly. Like, nothing beats just hugging your partner and being with your partner. But we have this thing called lobbing.
Yeah, so we have labbing time
Yeah,
every
so
day.
lobbing time is just very helpful to beat the LDR sadness. So as long as we get a lot of lobbing, we're good. It's like our gasoline.
Yeah,
We get pumped up and we get happy, and then we get
I think
re-energized.
I think we're doing LDR pretty well,
I
right?
think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too. And yeah, so I think the best way to make LDR work is communication, which is what
definitely.
we have a lot of
Yeah,
communication. We always talk. And whenever we have problems, we don't like dwell on it. In fact, I get very annoyed with her many times when she tries to dwell on the
many
topic, or
times.
many
We
times,
we
yes.
haven't we don't really fight.
Okay, few
Okay, but
times.
the times that we do, you
Yeah,
get annoyed.
the
Yeah.
times that we do, I get annoyed because she doesn't tell me right away what's the deal. So I kind of have to guess, like, what did I do wrong? What happened? And then sometimes it's
No,
not
but I
even
let
that.
you know. But I let you know right away that I'm mad.
Yeah, she lets me know she's mad. She just doesn't tell me about what. So she kind of like leaves me to
No,
guess. And I think I'm getting
I'm
pretty good
working
at
on it.
guessing
I'm
now.
working on it.
I think I'm getting pretty good at guessing what ticks her off. Like, I remember many times I'm like, okay, you're mad at me about this, 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 and this, right? And then you're like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, babe, I'm sorry. Anyway, also, what are we doing lately? Well, recently we're trying to keep things interesting by doing our themed date nights.
Yeah. So every Saturday we pick a theme. So like hippies or pirates, and we dress up according to the theme, and we kind of just have basically our video calls but in costume, so we can
Yeah,
like
and
watch movies. And I think one night we had like a board game session.
yeah, and it's fun because like after a while, you see your partner and you're like, okay, you're always in the same PJs, you're always wearing the
Yeah.
same shirt, so
Yeah.
it kind of like makes things more fun and interesting for each other.
Yeah. It's a little bit
So
of
like,
spice.
yeah, like if you saw Danny's ninja recently, I'm like, that was really like, whoa. I love that costume. And yeah, so I think we've been handling it pretty okay. And of course, we do plan to see each other, although COVID has made it especially hard now.
Yeah, you were actually supposed to come here, well, next month, September
Something
or
like that,
October.
yeah,
Yeah,
something
we
like
were
that.
gonna spend
And
Halloween together,
yeah,
but the
yeah,
world
but
decided to freak out.
unfortunately, we can't make that happen now. But we're still gonna try to push for next year. So
Hopefully, if
hopefully,
things
hopefully,
get better.
even hopefully by end of this year. But it's not looking like it's gonna happen. But yeah, for the moment, all we gotta do is keep lobbing each other.
Yeah. I think it also helps that like every day we have our video calls. So we video
Mhm.
call. Well, at first we used to video call, I think like 4 hours a day, when I first moved back, because it was very weird, like not talking to each other. So it was kind of like we were trying to like cling onto each other all the more. And I think we got used to it. And now I think we do like 2 hours or even 1 hour, even 30 minutes is okay, but we always have that like daily video call ever since I moved back.
Actually, I wanted to make another point about that. So, like, for me, the hardest months were really the first few months of LDR, and not even like the first time you moved, because the first time you moved, you came back
Ah, okay.
for
Yeah.
after three
So
months.
I did my program October 2018 to May 2019. And then I went back to the Philippines. And then coincidentally, my family was going to travel to Spain for a cruise. And, they brought me along. And so during that time was actually the first time that Arion met my parents, well, my family. So he
We
he
had a
traveled
road
with
trip.
us. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we traveled for, I think, I don't know, like 4 days. And then he had to go
yeah,
back because we had to go on our cruise. And then, so we cruised around for a month. And after that, I stayed behind for another month just with Arion. Well, with Arion's family. Yeah. So I stayed there for a month,
yeah.
October 2019 to November 2019. And then I,
And that was a
I, I
fun
left.
month. We did a
I,
lot, actually.
yeah. So we spent Halloween together in Amsterdam. We traveled. We went to
Yeah.
Brussels and Amsterdam, and then we had like little trips around the south of Spain.
Yeah, that was really fun. And we had the worst costumes for Amsterdam, but we're
Yeah.
gonna tell that in another
Yeah,
story.
we'll save it for another podcast episode.
Yeah. Anyway, and then she left end of November, and so second time she left, that was really the hardest moment because imagine being with someone, being with your lover for like a whole month together, just staying together, eating together, traveling together, sleeping together, and you get used to that after a while, that
It becomes
routine for a whole
routine.
month. Yeah. And it's very nice. It's a very nice feeling having someone with you
Because it
at
was
all
different from the
times.
first time that I was in Spain because we'd only see each other
Yeah,
every weekend.
it
But
was
then
every weekend.
the second time was like a whole month together.
Exactly. So it was really like nonstop. Like we were there together for a whole month. And I remember when she got back, I was especially sad. I was
Yeah,
especially lonely
I
because
was like more excited because I was like, oh, I have so many things planned. So I was
yeah.
kind of
But
distracted.
with me, it was like my whole scenario changed. I had her in my room. We'd go out. We'd have our daily breakfast and meals together. And I didn't have that anymore. And it was very different for me. So I was kind of like the clingier one in the first few months.
Yeah.
I was very sad all the time. And then she was so distracted with her things to do. So I was like kind of like pissed, like
No.
I was a little like upset because, I was like,
No, you were
I need
upset
you
because
extra
like
right
no,
now.
you were upset because every time we talked, I would be excited about like, I'm gonna do this and this and this. And you're kind of like, you were in a low place and you kind of just wanted like me to be in that place with you.
I guess. But I think it was mostly because like you're very distracted. So there were moments like you wouldn't even talk to me. You'd be like you talk to me for very short because you were doing your thing, you're working on your website or something, and I'd just be like there like, babe, mind me please.
Sorry.
It's fine. And then after a while I kind of got used to the LDR routine again. So the first few months are always going to be difficult. I think that whole like me being lonely lasted for about 2 months. And then I kind of got accustomed to video calling again and you being a small little thing in my screen. But of course, it still sucks. I still miss you. But it's not as painful anymore because we know that moments like these are still moments we can cherish. Talking, date nights, talking over the phone, everything. We try to make everything memorable together, even our birthdays.
All right, yeah. Because the first time around when I stayed in Spain for during the 8 months, we spent our birthdays together because our birthdays are only 2 weeks apart.
Yeah, but then second
And
time around,
yeah, during this time we had to kind of get like creative with our gifts.
yeah, we're gonna share that in another video
Yeah,
too.
but
All right.
we try to make the situation as interesting as possible. Try to make things like fun. So
Mm-hmm.
for example, we have our date nights, and then some. I think we try to play board games with my sisters. It's kind of hard to do, because he's literally in the screen. But so what we do is like I take photos of, I don't know, like the cards, the situation, and I send it to him on Messenger, and then he just tells me what to do, and I kind of like move his hand for him.
And I
So
remember the first time we went, I beat her and her sisters like 4 times in a row. They were so
yeah.
annoyed playing with me. They're like, how does he win? He's not even here. Yeah,
Yeah, we
but
kind
that
of
was
try. We
fun.
try to make LDR work. We still have our
Yeah.
activities.
Unfortunately, Danny's not really into video games, and I would really love to play online video games with you, but that's not really gonna
You're
happen. And
pressuring me. You're saying it in
guys,
the
make her
podcast.
play a game.
You're saying it on the
Make
podcast.
her play
Paul.
something. So yeah, so we try to make our moments interesting, our relationship interesting, and I think that's about it. That about
Yeah.
wraps up, the general idea about what we've been through, how we met, and what we're currently going through.
Wait lang. I'm checking the time. I think we've been talking for like 30 minutes. I'm not really sure. Or maybe 40.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Well, I hope you liked this episode. I hope you liked hearing us talk about ourselves. Sounds vain, but at least you kind of got to know us a little.
And well, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please follow us in every platform that we have. We're gonna try to make this a weekly thing
Yeah, every Sunday,
and
6 p.m.
Philippine time. And yeah, if you like us, also follow Dani on Instagram. She has beautiful photos. She's also the founder of Girls with Sign, by the way. So if you have ever seen a meme of a girl holding a sign, that's my girlfriend right there. I'm very
I
proud
have
about that.
become a meme. I
Become a
never
meme.
in my life thought I would become a meme.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
so I think we're done for today. Please tune in for our next episode next Sunday.
this has been Love and Confetti. I'm Danny.
I'm Aryan.
Bye.
Bye.